Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. Let me tell you about Nakamichi that I once owned. I think it was the PA7E and the preamp that came with that and some tape recorder. And it was some of the first gear that I owned that was a significant step out of this usual Sony Philips Technics kind of world. And it was my first powerful amp, so lots of power. That was cool. It was a bit analog, a bit forgiving, and it had this very interesting quality where it could be very punishing in sound, and I mean that in a good way. If you've ever listened to normal Class A, B equipment or especially Class D equipment, you'll notice that the sound is usually very informative, but also very polite. And especially when you listen to Hugh Masekela Stimula, at the end with the when they're playing these drums, the way that it releases the energy and hits hard, that was really cool with Nakamichi. It just was really nice in a very punishing type of way. I like that. So that's one of the reasons why I kept it for a while. I think I kept it for like 2 years or so. So I had some good times with Nakamichi. And I'm glad I still got rid of it because of the bad timing, the lack of clarity, the lack of separation. There was like this, I would call it almost moldy type of sound. Still, it was a bit harsh, but still it was very, overall a pretty okay sound. So I definitely noticed that the more I listened to it, the more it just was too raw, too uncontrolled, and just using too much power in general. So, a pity. I got rid of it, and I think I got like Musical Fidelity or Vincent afterwards, which was in a way better detail-wise, but again, not quite as good, not quite as analog and real. So, it got really hot, and so be careful. They are very old. They could, in theory, actually start a fire because of how hot they get. A bit like with the Sugden A21 amplifier, it gets so hot that it's a bit dangerous having something on top of it. But I would actually recommend that people don't buy Nakamichi that I tried, but instead just go with an old Macintosh or Acrophase setup. It might cost a couple of $1,000 more, but I think it's more worth it because you get into the signature part of the sound, the substance a bit more, where this was just pure raw power, unfiltered, bit forgiving, but still not quite. So yeah, interesting. Interesting gear. In a way, I kind of miss it, but remembering back, I know that it was just very, what can you say, unsophisticated, a bit on the moldy, dark side, and just too raw and two dimensional for me to really enjoy the music. But I really, especially listening to Hugh Masekela Stimula and Katie Malua and Diana Krall, it just sounded really good with those three artists. So interesting sound, definitely. Very interesting. This is me logging out. Remember to like and subscribe.